My wife is scaring me and I don't know what to do. Scaring you how? Are we talking like she's acting a little crazy, or is she acting like a demon overcame her body? You know what I mean? What kind of crazy are we talking about? How scared are we? First and foremost, yes, I know this sounds ridiculous and this will probably get downvoted as a troll post, but I sincerely don't know where to turn. I've never experienced anything like this. A little background, my wife has always been sort of a jokester. She has a great poker face and I'm fairly gullible. So she'll feed me little innocent lies pretty frequently and delights when I fall for them, but she's never kept a deception going for more than a day. She also got really into weird Twitter a few months ago. What's weird Twitter? And her sense of humor has become pretty inscrutable and crazy to me, but until very recently, I've just considered it a sort of endearing quirk? What did I just say? So anyways, for Christmas, my in-laws got us a Battlestar Galactica on DVD. They were always raving about it and neither of us have watched it. I had to leave for a business trip on the 30th and my wife was sick, so we ended up just marathoning the whole thing before I left. Without giving too much away, the ending is a little heavy on the religious angle. I liked it, but my wife thought it ruined the entire show. I know general consensus is it's a bit of a letdown, but I frankly felt that it was pretty consistent with what the show had been building up the whole time. Personally, you guys, I don't even know what this is. Not a single clue. Never heard of it.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
My wife couldn't believe that I didn't feel the same way as her. I wouldn't quite describe her as livid, but she was mad. I figured this was partially a reaction from her just being fed up from being sick for a week, but it was so out of character for her. We barely ever fight, and this was over something so trivial. She called me a moron and ended up tossing and turning after we went to bed, and eventually left to go sleep on the couch. When I got up in the morning to head to the airport, she was still fast asleep, and when I gently shook her to say goodbye, she barely moved and didn't respond when I said I loved her. Okay, so taking note that I will not be watching this movie or series. Do not watch unless you want to fight with your partner. Fast forward to Monday. When I get back from my trip, my friend picks me up from the airport because my wife has a class at the gym that she, quote, couldn't miss. We had been texting while I was gone and she apologized for being weird about things and I thought everything was back to normal, but I found it a bit odd that she couldn't skip a gym session to come grab me. I couldn't sleep on the plane, so I hit the hay when I got home. When I woke up, she was already awake and busy in the kitchen, which is bizarre since she doesn't work and usually doesn't wake up until 10-ish. I commented on this and I hugged her and said good morning, and she basically just responded with little grunts. I was about to leave when she handed me a brown bag lunch. She has never done this before and said to me, "It's cold out there, better hoagie down." I grabbed the bag and I just said, "What?" And she walked to the bathroom and slammed the door.
Demon.
It's a demon. I've already concluded. I was going to be late for a meeting, so I couldn't stick around to try and make sense of what was happening. After I got out, I texted her frantically to try and figure things out, but she kept responding like it never happened. Everything was fine, she loved me. She asked me to please stop being weird. When I got home, it was more of the same. I assumed it must have been one of her weird jokes, so I just decided to leave it. Every morning this week, same exact thing. My wife is up, won't speak to me, hands me a brown bag lunch and says, "It's cold out there, better hoagie down," walks to the bathroom and slams the door. Yo, I swear, if someone starts acting like that, I'm out. I watch too much film. I need to get away from movies and documentaries, I think. This morning I had enough and I yelled at her through the door, pleading with her to stop, but she didn't say a word. Every night it's been the same thing. Didn't happen. What are you talking about? You're being crazy. None of this is actually happening. She has been legitimately angry with me. And for the last few nights, we haven't been sleeping together. I heard her talking to her mother about this on the phone, and I seriously have no idea what to do. I brought up couples counseling and she was incredulous. Is this some weird Twitter Twitter thing or a new meme that I don't know about. Even if it is, she has taken this way too far. I don't know how I'm going to spend a weekend at home with her. Does anyone have any advice? Edit. I've been up all night worrying and I'm going to finally try to get some sleep. Taking the day off work, going to try and have a serious discussion with my wife, her parents, get a hold of her psychiatrist when I wake up. We'll keep everyone posted. Oh, so maybe this isn't actually anything funny the way I've been cracking jokes. Maybe there is a mental illness here, you know? So maybe something serious is actually going on. Wow, what a weird routine though. Cold out there, better hoagie down, go to the bathroom, slam the door. Oh, that's kind of spooky. It's like eerie, you know? Update. I woke up an hour ago with a huge headache. I went to the fridge to get a protein smoothie and I saw that it had been cleared of what little food that we had in there. My wife was not in the house, got dressed, went to the door with the intent of going to get some food, and I saw a brown paper bag with "It's cold out there, better hoagie down" written in cursive taped to the door. I would be so scared. Am I dramatic?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, we know the answer to that, but would this creep you out by any means? I opened the bag and a can of ginger ale was in there. I went outside and her car was still there, but as far as I could tell, she took her wallet, keys, coat, and everything else. We live about 5 minutes outside of a nice town and she likes to take long walks, so I'm assuming that's where she is. This has officially gone too far. I'm going to wait an hour to see if she comes home or she or her parents return my calls. If not, I am driving to her parents to hopefully make sense of the situation. I'm bringing the video of her and the bag. I will update tonight, hopefully. You videotaped it? Good idea. Always have some kind of evidence. Edit, still no sign of her. Got a call from her parents that was just seconds of them arguing in the background. Hung up after about 30 seconds. I have no idea what that was about, so I'm driving there now. What's going on? I'm scared. Your wife is scaring you? No, your wife is scaring me. Let's go to the comment section. Apparently there's some more info in here. Someone said, film her on your phone. OP said, I did this on Wednesday, and her response was, that was a cute video, and then she wouldn't talk about it anymore. Next comment. It sounds to me like she's having mental issues. Seriously, who does this? You need to take some power back. Don't take the sandwich. Well, I want to eat the sandwich.
You sure about that?
OP said she hasn't actually put any sandwiches in the bag. One day it was a muffin, another one was 3 bananas. You're right, I really shouldn't take the bag, but she's just had these. It's weird. She has dead eyes when she hands it to me, and I'm sort of afraid of her. I guess it's worth noting that my wife is larger than I am. I'm only 5'4", and I'm just really worried about upsetting her. Next comment. Does she take a RX sleeping substance that starts with A? My friend took them 8 years ago, and his wife called me worried because he would wake up in the middle of the night and turn the stove on and do things and then go back to bed and not remember. I've read a lot of articles about this sleeping substance that people get up and go out and drive and have accidents and have no memory of it. It's like they are sleepwalking. True, because she is doing this in the morning and she's doing it earlier than when she usually wakes up. Maybe she is sleepwalking. OP said she does not take that substance. No, she was taking Seroquel, probably saying it wrong, you guys, in low dosage for a while after dealing with a traumatic event, but that was over a year ago now. She does occasionally take Xanax for anxiety also, but only occasionally. Next comment, Seroquel, or whatever that is an antipsychotic and is also prescribed for schizophrenia. Are you certain what it was being prescribed for? OP said, I was aware of this when she started taking it, but she told me that her doctor said that he was giving her a very low dosage and that at a dose like that, it worked as a sleeping aid. I suppose there's a chance that she was lying about this, but she only took it for about 2 months and it was helping her sleep. Interesting. Yes, oh thank God, someone asked what's weird Twitter. Itchy. Why is my ear itchy? Do you guys ever forget that you have ears? Probably not. That's probably a me thing, but I'm like that. I just went to itch my ear and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forget I have like an ear on the side of my head sometimes. I think I need sleep. I need more than that. Anyways, OP responded and said, as I understand it, it's a bunch of people on Twitter and they make a lot of nonsense inside jokes. She shows me a bunch of tweets, but I don't get most of them. She'll try and explain them to me, but I guess that sort of takes the humor out of it. I don't even use Twitter. I don't have Twitter. I haven't had it in many years, so I don't know. Next comment, does she do any video tweets or do Vine or anything? Like, do you think she's possibly recording you as part of a joke that she's sharing on weird Twitter or something? OP said, I checked her Twitter and I didn't see anything unless she has another account that I don't know about, which I guess is possible, although I don't know why she would go through all the effort since she's only had about 60 followers on her main account. Next comment, do you by chance know what she has said to her mother? Finding out whatever dialogue or information she has shared with her mother may reveal the information you need. At the very least, you could rule out any kind of sleep, psychotic, or personality disorders that are being brought up in the comments. If you have a good relationship with her mother, maybe consider exploring that avenue and inquire with the mother about any possible oddities that the mother may have perceived while sharing what has been going on between you two. True, maybe some history. Has she ever done this before, even when she was younger? Almost like a medical history as well. OP said, I tried to get in contact with her parents today twice, but I just got voicemail. I left a message the second time, but it seems odd to me that I haven't heard back from them yet. They're both retired and one of them is always home. She was telling her mother that I've been gaslighting her and that it's weird and out of character for me, and she's worried there might be something seriously wrong with me and she's not sure what to do. I'm worried that her parents heard my message, but because their daughter talked to them first, they're operating under the assumption that I'm being delusional. Oh my gosh, well, the plot thickens. If she doesn't know that she's doing that every morning or remembering or whatever the case is, and then she thinks you're making it up, this really does feel kind of like a horror movie, like a psychological thriller. Good news is we have more updates. You know what time it is. Hydration station. Drink your water. Okay, you need it. I need it. We all need it. Cheers. The time of this recording, you guys, we are only a few days out from getting the keys and moving. So excited. And don't forget, I'm going to be showing you guys an empty apartment tour of both places, the current one and the new one. You're going to want to follow my second channel for that. I can't wait. Next update. I am currently sedated, but I wanted to post this update because I don't know when I'll have another chance to next. What is going on?
What do you mean?
The short of it is that my wife was not at fault here. I was. I've gotten into the habit of taking Benadryl to help me sleep through the night. My wife snores and I'm allergic to her cats, so it makes sense. And over time, I've ended up taking more and more to the point that some nights I'll take 5 or 6 if I'm having trouble breathing. That can't be good for you. I know this is probably really stupid and it bit me in the ass. When I got home from the airport, all 3 of my wife's cats were on the bed. I searched my nightstand for some Benadryl and I couldn't find any. I looked in my wife's drawer and I found a bottle of hers. She is allergic to cats also, go figure, but she also gets allergy shots. It turns out that the Benadryl bottle was actually where she was keeping her old Seroquel or whatever that word is. Both are pink, but I didn't give it a second thought and I popped 6 of them and I went to sleep. So you were hallucinating. This is apparently where everything unraveled. Fast forward to my driving to her parents' house, I started feeling incredibly dizzy about an hour out, and so I pulled over. I sat in the car for a while, but the feeling didn't go away, so I decided to get a motel and confront them the next day. I took a handful of those pills and I went to sleep. I got up today in this weird mania. I got to her parents' place at 9-ish. Her car was there, which didn't make any sense. I rang the doorbell and her father opened the door. He was surprised to see me. I was sweating heavily and having a hard time speaking. My father-in-law has always been exceptionally kind to me, and he was sort of straddling the line between concern and terror. I didn't understand what was going on, so I just started crying. I brought out the paper bag and I tried to explain. I pulled out my phone to show him the video. My wife ran to the door with this pained expression on her face and asked me what I was doing, pleading with me to calm down. My in-laws said that I had been terrorizing his daughter. He had no idea why I would do this, and I just didn't understand. She pulled out her phone and showed me a video. It was me banging on the bathroom door, yelling at her to come out. She had clearly taken it from behind the couch in the living room. Ooh, I got goosebumps. Spooky. She showed me another one of me just standing at the door before work, just staring at nothing. She showed me a video of my behavior after I came home from work, and I was being much more aggressive and much less calm than I remembered. Apparently, she had left home Tuesday night. I was alone in the house for 2 days, and I just collapsed. I pulled up the video on my phone, or I tried to, and I couldn't find it. All I found were 16 odd pictures of the ground and my feet in quick succession. It was right around the point that I started experiencing this crippling dizziness and this feeling that I like. I can't quite describe it as nauseous, but it felt like I couldn't sit still and I was shaking and I felt like no direction was up. The doctors told me that this was called, I can't say that, akathisia. Apparently someone called an ambulance because I could not sit still and said that they thought I was dying. At the hospital, I was barely able to talk and I couldn't concentrate and I just wanted to sleep. They apparently pumped me full of Ativan and I slept for 5 or 6 hours. When I came to, they started asking me a ton of questions. Once we got to medications I may have taken, I mentioned Benadryl and my wife realized what had happened and explained the medication switch up. They're not entirely sure, but at this point, their best guess is that that medication either put me in some manic state or triggered some underlying schizophrenia. Something like that, I don't know. They don't really know how to explain the delusions and the hallucinations right now, but it's the best they've got at the moment. They asked if anyone in my family had a history of mental illness, and I responded with, I don't know. My parents are pretty old, and I don't know much about my grandparents. The dizziness started to roll over me, and again, they gave me more Ativan, and I went back to sleep. While I was out, my wife contacted my parents, and apparently my grandfather had a mean temper and suffered delusions from time to time, rambling about things that didn't make any sense, and waking up at weird hours to do God knows what. He never got a diagnosis, and he passed fairly young, but my mother and her family think that it could have been schizophrenia. So maybe something, maybe nothing, who knows? Right now, I'm sitting in the hospital. The doctor and my wife are throwing around a number of ideas. I'm going to see a psychiatrist who's going to make a determination about what the next step is for sure. My wife is rightfully frightened of being around me in my current state, and while she doesn't appear to be mad at me, she says that she would rather my brother look after me until I can get a proper diagnosis and get prescribed some medications. I have no idea where I came up with the phrase hoagie down. I was listening to a radio show that mentions hoagies and Philly a lot. Maybe that's where I got it, but they never use the phrase specifically, so I don't know. I have no idea. I guess I just want to thank everyone who tried to help. Sorry if this ended up being a waste of time or anticlimactic or whatever. No, this is probably one of the craziest plot twists because I was not expecting that. I was fully convinced that your wife was like hallucinating or something more serious was going on there. It was you! You were hallucinating that your wife was doing that. Crazy. We're going back to the comment section, and it says that OP's brother then starts replying to comments. I hope OP is okay. Someone said, why didn't she call 911 and try to get you help instead of running away and leaving you alone for 2 days when you clearly were having some kind of episode? Thank God you didn't hurt yourself or anyone else. Then the brother responded and said, OP's brother here. I was wondering this myself. My sister-in-law explained to me that she was scared and doesn't have fond memories of calling the police because she had a violent boyfriend in the past and the police were very unhelpful, which just made her boyfriend angrier. She was freaking out and having panic attacks. I'm not totally sure why she didn't call after she had made it to her parents' house. Maybe she was afraid my brother would come after her or something. I don't know. Next comment. If you are allergic to cats, keep the cats out of the bedroom. Don't take 100 Benadryls. I agree. That can't be a healthy habit. OP's brother responded, I agree with you. I was super surprised to find out he had been taking so much Benadryl. My sister-in-law is super pushy about the cats, but my brother is an idiot for taking that many. Yeah, that's a lot of medication. Next comment, your first post was so expressive and clearly written. Is it possible to write like that when you're on that kind of medication or having an episode like this? True, he was very I don't know. If you're that dizzy and nauseous, how are you typing up a whole story on Reddit? His brother said, I will say this, he has been writing and talking a lot, and normally he's a very terse person. Some of his communicating has been absolute rambling, but a lot of it has been very coherent. Sometimes he just slips in and out. That's so bizarre. And there's no updates. I would like to know what happens. Did he get diagnosed? Are they still together? What's going on? Oh, well, that's a little worrisome that there's no update. I'm glad they got to the root of the problem because I think it can be hopefully managed from here. But let me know your thoughts, you guys, on this one. What a plot twist. Here I was getting goosebumps thinking she was a little, cuckoo bonkers. Turns out it was you. Let's not take Benadryl like that anymore. Just me picking at my nails. Let me get out of here. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.